must be Mike.
Yes.
How are you? I've heard a lot about you. Come on aboard the boat and have a seat.
Sure.
I heard you're quite the sword maker.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know much about me, Mike, but I come from a long line of whalers and sword fishermen, and my great-uncle Amos Smalley actually harpooned the only white sperm whale ever harpooned, which was Moby Dick. All my family's been into fishing. That's what I've done with my life now. I'm a charter fishing captain, and my fishing season is about to start. Thousands of people walk by here on a daily basis, and if I had something that would just pull them in a little bit more, they'd want to go fishing.
Yeah.
Whaling was a very violent way to make a living. I don't want some cutesy little thing. I want a big sword that's badass, something that looks like it could do some serious damage like a harpoon could.
I assure you I don't want to make something cutesy.
I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Me too.
I know this is, at this time of year, you're probably busy, but I was wondering if you could have it done in a week.
Yeah, I guess. I'll try.
Oh, that'll be very good. Thank you very much.
So this whale sword isn't quite like anything I've built before. There's a challenge in terms of artistry. How does an artist on an island off the coast of New England invoke whales without being cutesy? A sword like this, with all the detailed work and welding, is going to be a couple of $1,000s.
Fantastic.
Cool, I'll fix you up. Okay, well, it was,
Very nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I want the shape of the whale sword to match a harpoon head. The blade will incorporate features of sperm whales and humpbacks. So it'll have the throat pleats and the bony head growths, the tubercles of a humpback, and it'll have the eyes and teeth of a sperm whale. And to stay in keeping with the nautical theme, I want to make the handle out of an old anchor. That's primarily just because it looks really cool. So I've decided on the shape of the blade. The outline of the shape has to look like whales. For anything with like a crazy shape, I need to use the plasma cutter. The plasma cutter is, you know, you have to move quickly with it because if you linger, too much heat will go into the piece and it'll start to lose its temper. The plasma cutter is, you know, it's phenomenal if you're good at it. Okay, Jamie, I have some bits and pieces for you to blacksmith. The toggle harpoons have a pivot point here that the thing used to swing around. So this will be the perfect place to put a whale eye.
All right.
See,
that
like
looks
this
cool.
Yeah, so what I want you to do is make me a three-dimensional
Forge it
bumped out eye.
It's very interesting being the resident blacksmith for Irish Mike because I never know what he's going to throw in front of me and what needs to get accomplished. And sometimes it's a little out of my norm.
There you go.
Okay.
Happy camping.
This guy. Oh, my gosh. It's about twice as thick as what I'm used to working with.
Yeah, it's only 1/8 inch, though. Blacksmithify it. Now. So while I'm doing the main blade, Jamie gets a start on the whale eye. Hopefully we'll keep things flowing and moving.
When I take that metal out of the forge and it's glowing hot, it's still radiating about 2,000 degrees. It makes it very challenging for me to try and get the details of the eye in before it starts to burn.
How's it going?
What would you think of if you were burning the hell out of your arm?
Ouch.
Yeah, like that. I mean, it might turn into a giant blister. It's just thicker and hotter, just radiates more heat than I've ever had to work with before.
Jamie is generally, I think I have more confidence in her than she does. I mean, she's a good blacksmith. Kind of has to be done, though.
Yeah, I think it's just like going back and forth, working one side to get the puffiness, get that eye shape a little stronger, right?
But yeah, that's all sounded cromulent. Starting to shape up.
All right, boss.
I'm the
Okay.
boss.
Let's do it. Our deadline for the Rahab sword is 1 week, but now that we're losing Eric, it's probably going to be a big challenge to get that done in time. I think I'm done.
Let's have a look.
Does that look about right? Kind of looks like a whale eye.
That looks good to me. You'd be hard-pressed for somebody to look at it and go, what's that?
All right. Guess my job is done here.
What you up to now?
The Rahab, I want to make it rusty. Every single whaling harpoon I've ever seen ever has been rusty, so we're doing experimentation.
Experimenting with what?
Vinegar muriatic acid. Whoa, that's stinky.
Should I have respirators or something too?
The standard respirator that people wear clamps onto the face, and it doesn't work properly on bearded gentlemen. The one I have is a modified version. All of my stuff is heavily modified at this stage. So before we go test the lock blade tonight, I want to finish off the whale's eye. Some cheaper swords will use paint to get different colors. I don't like doing that because they'll eventually wear away. So I like melting brass directly to the surface because you won't be able to get that off unless you have an angle grinder. Brazing is a process similar to welding. It's used to join things together. I use it to decorate a lot of things. Like if you want to make something look like it's made out of brass, you heat the steel up to the right, just the sweet spot temperature, and the brass just flows onto the surface. And when you get good on it, you can aim it, and then when you polish it up, it looks like a brass eye.
Dominate that thing. Irish Mike is a touch of a maniac. I mean, for a guy to crawl into the water and cut a boat in half with a sword that he built named after a mythological beast, I would say he suits the deal for that one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Before you present something to a customer, there's always that part of you in the back of your head. It's like, oh, what if they hate it?
Wow. The demonstration was unbelievable.
That's part of my very strange business model.
This is absolutely gorgeous.
So a lot of my big swords have names, it's their thing. So this one is called Rahab. So Buddy had told me this great story about his great uncle, Amos Smalley, who was a whaler. This is what it inspired me to do. Rahab is over 6 feet in length and 60, 70 pounds. The blade shape is based on the toggle harpoon pleats ground into the surface like on a humpback whale, and it's also got the tubercles of a humpback whale. The eye is styled after a sperm whale's eye. Also, the teeth are styled after a sperm whale's. The handle is made from an old anchor. The brass rail is fashioned after an old harpoon gun. I've selectively rusted and polished various parts of it. The center of the eye is brassed over. Yeah,
Beautiful.
glad you like it.
Okay, John, you want to give me a hand
Sure.
carrying this? I'll give you the light end.
Yep.
It'll look really good on my dock.
That's the moment I live for, seeing the customer go away. Matthew, towel me.
There you go, Mike.
Towel me.
No.
Slacker.
You have to pay me more, Mike.
Get paid with experience.
Seriously.
You'll know how to towel a man properly. Rahab is finished and it looks great. It's always great when you see a customer happy. I mean, I could be a little disappointed that, like, you know, the first sword I made on Martha's Vineyard winds up hanging 2 feet below an existing commercial business sign that it'll be used as a perch for seagulls to poop on. But, you know, at the end of the day, I finished it in time and I got paid, so, you know, I'm not going to be too upset about it.